What is constructor? Constructor is a special method. Why we are calling it special method? Because it is same name as the class. Okay, class name and method name same. That is why it is a special method. Clear? Now, normally the method name and class names are different. Here, special method, class name and method name same. And it has no return time. We know method always returns some value. Okay? Now, this constructor is not returning any value, and it is the same name as the class. So that is why it is your special method, which is called implicitly. Implicitly means automatic by the Java itself, and explicitly by the coder at the time of object creation. When we are creating the objects, at that time it is invoked or called to initialize the data members of the objects. We have class. Class is the blueprint. So when we are creating objects, we are creating physical entity. So the objects are occupying space in the memory. So when objects are occupying space in the memory, it means that the data members of the objects are occupying space in the memory. So those variables are initialized when the objects are created. Now at that time, at that object creation time, we initialize the data members of the objects. Here. Now the characteristics. Class name, method name same. No return type, not even void. Used to initialize the object. Now if you remember these 3 points, definition of constructor done. Clear? If you remember these 3 points, definition of constructor done. Nowadays we are not getting any kind of 2-box theory questions. For MCQ, what we have to do? We have to go through this. Now next point. Multiple constructor can be possible. Multiple constructor can be possible. Now, when multiple constructors are possible in a program, now we are using multiple functions. So, same name, function name, multiple times in your program, it means your function overloading. So, from here, we can overload constructor. So, constructor overloading possible. From this feature, next. If there is no constructor present in the program, Java provides default constructor. Okay, that is why I am saying implicitly. And when we are writing, that is implicit. Now, what is the use of constructor? Now, from this point, used to initialize the object. Used to initialize the object. This is the use. Feature, characteristics, use, step. Number 1. Now, after doing this, my objects are valid because the data members are initialized. Now I can use the object, so my objects are in usable state. Now the types of constructor. We have basically 2 types of constructor: non-parameterized and parameterized. Now this non-parameterized constructor can be categorized in 2 parts. One is a default constructor and is non-default constructor. What is default constructor? In non-parameterized constructor, if we assign the data members of the objects by their default values, not 0, default values, like integer is 0, double is 0.0, character is \u, 4 zeros. So that is the default constructor. Non-parameterized we are assigning the default values. Now non-default constructor, instead of assigning with the default value, I am assigning those data members by some non-default values, like int a equal to 5. Instead of 0 as the default value of integer, I am assigning 5. So non-default constructor. Under here non-parameterized. Now, in parameterized constructor, this default constructor. Under parameterized constructor, what is default? Now I am accepting the parameters, and those parameters are having 0 in their value, in the variable. Okay? So default constructor, not default constructor. If the parameters are having non-zero value or non-default value, non-default constructor. Now the example: class CONS constructor, cons. My class name, data members are A and B. Now CONS, my C is capital, so here also C is capital. If C is capital and here C is small, so Java is a case sensitive language, error will come. Now C minus, this is your non-parameterized constructor. Okay, no parameters are here. A equals to 0, B equals to 0. So this is your non-parameterized default constructor. Now, if I assign constructor non-parameterized, now A equal to 5, B equal to 10. So this is my non-parameterized constructor, but non-default constructor. Clear? Non-parameterized, non-default constructor. Clear? No doubt. Now, I cannot use both the constructor in the same program. Why? Because this one no parameter, this one no parameter. In our function overloading, the condition is number of parameters and the type of the parameters must be different. Here, no parameter, so number of parameters are 0 in both the cases. So we cannot use both the constructor in a single program. Either we have to use this or we have to use this. So mostly we are using this one. Next one. Now, cons int AA, comma int BB. Now, A equal to AA, B equal to BB. So this is your parameterized constructor. Okay. Now, if AA and BB consisting of zeros and zeros, 0 and 0, AA 0, BB 0. So this is my parameterized default constructor. And if they are holding some non-zero values, parameterized constructor, but not default constructor. Clear? Now, if we use this constructor and this constructor, so basically this is a constructor overloading. No programs are going to come in your ICSE. Okay? You will get the output. What kind of output? Write the type of the constructor. Which one is default constructor? Now, when you are writing these two constructors in a program, what kind of object-oriented programming feature you are showing? Polymorphism, object function overloading. Now the next one. Difference between method and constructor. Okay. Now, after 2029, Council is focusing on your MCQs, not the descriptive definition and difference related or characteristics features related questions. Now, this difference will help you to solve the MCQs. First one, class name and method name different. Class name and method name different. Second one, class name and method name same. Number 2 has return type. If not returning any value, then return type is void. Here no return type. Not even void. Here we are calculating and giving some results. We are returning some results. Maybe we are returning some. Sometimes we are returning some results. Sometimes we are not returning some results. We are printing the output over there. So some process we are doing here, either calculation or output or input, whatever. And here only we are initializing the data members. Clear? So third one is your purpose. I am not writing the purpose. Just you have to remember the purpose for MCQ.